Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be talking about Isoray stock, ticker ISR. This company is a phenomenal cancer treatment company using cesium as a version to treat a whole plethora of cancer, including brain cancer. They've had a huge amount of success just recently, a lot of approval for these medical procedures, and it is doing far better than current cancer treatments. I believe that this sort of thing is in the genomics sector and it could do phenomenally well for the health of Americans and then globally as well. If that sounds like something you're interested in, then do smash that like button, consider subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you in there having a look and doing some analysis on this ISR stock. Catch you in there. Hey guys, so Isoray is a medical company, a specialist cancer treatment company that uses cesium to treat its patients. As you can see here, the ticker is ISR and it's actually called Isoray Incorporated. Now on the 5th of January 2021 there was an upsink in the share price due to an investor presentation going live and some really good exciting news coming out of it. So we'll get in there and we'll have a look shortly. The price has gone up from 50 cents a share to $1.50 a share, and this is due to some exciting news around their treatments. So over 14,000 treatments now have used cesium blue for their patients. Essentially, patients have been treated by this cesium that has had a dramatic effect on cancer. Over 10,000 patients have been treated for this in the prostate world, and there's numerous other applications for this kind of treatment as well. Then we're going to go and have a look in the investor presentation that went live not so long ago, and have a look at just how exciting this news is for the sector and for humankind, essentially, because 1 in 3 of us are eventually going to get cancer of some sort. So it'd be absolutely fantastic if we can have some really good treatments in place for this. So without further ado, let's actually get into the presentation. So you've got Isoray there, January 2021 investor presentation, an emerging leader in targeted internal radiation therapy. And the first things to look at are the big highlights. So it's an emerging leader in radiotherapeutics focused on commercialising the propriety of cesium-131 therapy for the treatment of cancer. A growing body of evidence suggests that cesium-132 is a superior therapy option when compared to alternatives, such as the shorter half-life, stronger energy levels lead to better patient outcomes, and then we've had some consistent revenue growth as well. These aren't mind-blowing numbers in terms of the actual money, but the increase in revenue is pretty good. So we've got revenue of 9.75 million, increased by 21%, gross profit growth of 37%, and gross margin increase of 52%. And there's a robust clinical pipeline targeting the additional market opportunity that cesium-131 may provide in terms of other cancers that this treatment might be able to treat. Now, Brachial Therapy overview is a safe, established treatment option for the treatment of cancer. Brachial Therapy is a cancer treatment utilising radioactive seeds placed directly inside the tumour or at the surgical margin, allowing for highly targeted treatments. Now this is obviously the treatment of brain cancer and brain surgeons getting involved to save people's lives. So there's benefits to this. There's less PPE, less staff involved, less potential exposure to the dreaded global pandemic. It's a low cost, effective treatment, highly targeted and personalised treatment dose, uniform and predictable radiation dose, which means less damage to the tissue, which is of course what the patient will need, because otherwise it can do some serious damage to you. So cesium blue has some key advantages over its competitors, such as palladium-103 and iodine-125. As you can see, there's a 9.7 day half-life cycle as opposed to 17 or 60, a 30.4 Kelvin energy level of isotope versus 20.8 versus 28.5, Got 33 days for a 90% dose instead of 58 days for a 90% dose, or 204 days for a 90% dose, which is going to save a significant amount of time for the patient and essentially save people's lives. And then it is detectable in the body only for 97 days as opposed to 107 or 600, which is a really good reduction in what you want in that sector there. Cesium Blue has also been used to treat 15,000 plus patients now for 10 years. So there is an expanding cancer treatment market, of course there is, in several other markets as well in oncology. So Cesium Blue is being used at the moment for prostate cancer. Building on the market awareness that this offers, the treatment sees straight years of 20% plus revenue growth. 581 million so far is the potential market, with 61% of the cases treatable with cesium-131. Then you've got Gammatile Therapy in the brain cancer sector, which has 33% cases treatable with cesium-131 of the 217 million sector. And then the same again with surgical options, 208 million, 8% of cases treatable with cesium-131, offering some significant revenue there for this company. So prostate cancer, unfortunately, is, well, fortunate for an investor, but unfortunately for patients, is Isoray's growing core market. There's a highly trained direct sales force to expand the coverage in the US, leveraging 10 years of clinical experience. There's some handy pictures there showing the cesium seeds, and then they've got additional clinical data coming online to back up just the effectiveness of this treatment. So there's also opportunity for growth in the brain cancer side of things with Gammatile Therapy, using the cesium seeds to treat the brain cancer essentially. And FCA clearance was approved in 2018 for recurrent tumours. Cesium-131 in brain cancer is supported by a growing number of clinical studies over in the US of major institutions. And then here you can see the Gammatile difference between what is being offered and the intensity modulated radiation therapy that is being used currently. And you can see that there's a significant difference here between the two as to which one actually does better at treating the cancer at source instead of damaging other tissues around it. The Gammatile therapy is a lot more effective according to the research done by GT Medical there. There's a robust body of evidence building for the use of cesium-131. The meta-analysis data from 1,240 patients is now published in reports. The 10-year PSA control between 90 and 95% for low and intermediate risk patients. Prostate brachytherapy with cesium-131 achieves excellent long-term biological control. And then the brain cancer cesium treatment is more reliable than iodine-125, and this is what it's all about, essentially building on the medicine has to move forward all the time to help people and essentially increase survival rates, and this is one company that's pushing the boundaries to do that. And here we can see what a lot of investors will be interested in, of course, which is despite the global pandemic challenges, Isoray continues to inhibit strong year-on-year quarterly growth. So as we can see here, quarterly revenue growth has spiked upwards quite nicely as the company, it came down, but then the company took measures to mitigate against the global pandemic. But the trend is upwards, which is really good for us investors. And then strong gross margin also mitigates the capital needs to break even. A better gross margin means you don't have to make charge as much essentially to make the same amount of money. So there we can see there the gross margin, it has gone from 3% to 53%, which is absolutely excellent. The active pipeline therefore going forward, expanding the breadth of cesium-131 use, is that it is going to be used in immuno-oncology with Keytruda, and then it is looking at using it with surgical cancers as well, where 8% of cases of the 388,000 that there were, 8% of these cases may be treatable with cesium-131. So that obviously again is a key revenue generator for the company there. And then finally, looking over at the CMS proposed RO-APM effective on the 1st of January 2022, there's a pilot program in place to evaluate the change in payment methodology at a flat rate per disease site. The 5-year programme is expected to affect a reimbursement of 30% radiation oncology clinics. So this is an effective revenue source for the company. Even though the company is trying to provide it at the lowest cost, it's still got to make a profit at the end of the day. And Isoray is a reimbursement for both inpatient and outpatient treatment, so it can essentially do both, with hospital stays in excess of 2 days. The company is going to probably help pick up some of the tab with that one because of them selling it as a in and out treatment. Isoray owns an awful lot of intellectual property, which is highly valuable. There is numerous patents on cesium-131, and these patents are enforced until 2027. So the company has got essentially protected patents, protected revenue generation for at least the next 7 years, which is pretty good in my book. There is an experienced management team in charge at Isoray. The Chief Executive Officer Laurie A. Woods has got 30 years experience in the sector. The R&D Officer also has 30 years experience. The CFO has 25 years experience. The Chief Operating Officer and Vice President of HR, 20 years. And the Executive Vice President also has 20 years experience as well. And you can also read a little bit more about their CVs right there. Obviously I can't read all of them out right here and now. So the market data at the moment, the current share price has increased since this one. Its 52-week range is slightly higher than that now. Hasn't gone above $2 at the moment. Market cap is obviously higher. Despite being from January, this presentation is slightly out of date in terms of the market prices. So a quick recap of what is going on there in the company for the investment side of things. You've got sustained revenue growth. You've got a robust clinical pipeline targeting additional market opportunities. Recently identified immunotherapy study that cesium-132 in combination with, I'm going to massacre this, but pembrolizumab for the treatment of recurrent head and neck cancer. Obviously that part isn't funny at all. And also evaluating cesium-131 for treatment of surgical cancers, including GYN, lung and others. There's an experienced management team, as I've already mentioned, and a recent capital raise improves the liquidity position of the company for the foreseeable future, with 9.5 million in gross proceeds from the 20th of the 10th 2020 stock offering. So that puts the company in quite a liquid state and enabling it to invest further down the line. And if we just pop through to the appendix now, we can see just how the addressable market of cesium-131 currently stacks up. So you've got 585 million in potential prostate cancer treatment, 57 million in lung cancer, 132 million in head and neck tumours, recurrent GYN tumours 19 million, and then brain cancer 217 million. That's a $1 billion opportunity for the company to target in terms of helping people, and of course making money at that. And there's a breakdown on the right hand side here just how much each treatment would cost in terms of potential revenue and patient numbers. And then that brings us comfortably to the end of the investing relations presentation. Isoray stock then is a fascinating company, really on the cutting edge of what is possible in terms of cancer treatment. I find that absolutely fascinating, and to get involved in that would be absolutely amazing, just to be an investor in it. The company has got some serious potential based on its cesium-131 product. There it can hopefully monetize this even further than it already has and apply this to multiple different types of cancer, and then obviously monetize that as well in terms of helping and then it can use this to grow and help even more people and develop even further products going down the line. That is a massive win from me. I'm certainly going to be taking a position in this company, especially for the long term, as this sort of treatment gains traction and replaces the older treatments which are even harsher on the human body. Thank you very much for watching, guys, today. It's been an absolute pleasure. Hopefully you can see your way to smashing that like button and considering subscribing to my channel as well. I'll see you in the next investing episode. Bye.